All right, everybody, it's Jack and Dan. We just want to do a real quick update of the Volt. We haven't done one in a couple of months, actually about 2.5 to 3 months. Jack's holding the camera. Say hey, Jack.
Hi.
As you can see, we're over here out by the airport. Planes taking off and landing here by IX Center and the Cleveland Airport. And the reason we just want to do a quick update is because we haven't done one in a while. And really, it's just because there's been no reason to. It's like a plane's coming by here, so I'm going to wait a second. So we came inside the car because this is apparently the area of the airport where the
It's
planes...
really loud.
They just turn around here. But it's really kind of neat. It's a Sunday morning, pretty early. There's really not a lot of people around. The reason we came out here is because there's a big, huge back road here. And we wanted to kind of do an update on the speed. A lot of people, you know, they talk about electric cars and it's, but, you know, I know it's good for the environment and I know it's kind of neat to not have to use gas and I know they've come down in price and we've talked about these in previous videos. And we've got a lot of good videos. We've done 3 on this car so far and we talked a little bit about how it's all worked. It came full of gas and we only had to fill it up a few months after that. We've had this since September and we're almost through June. So 9 months, we've got about 8,000 miles almost. It was in an accident. In the wintertime, I had a pretty bad accident, so I didn't have it for almost a month. They had to completely do a ton of body work on this side and everything, and it was pretty bad. It was a horrible snowstorm, and remember a huge, one of those big, huge trash cans
Just like smashed into it.
Came flying into the side of my car down the street in a blizzard, and I smashed into a million pieces, totally destroyed the half of the car, thousands of dollars worth of damage. They had to have it for 3 to 4 weeks. So otherwise I probably would. I had a rental. Otherwise I probably would have closer to 9,000. But I put about 1,000 miles a month on it on average. So after that first fill up, we only had one other fill up. And then we kind of learned about some places where we could charge it and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And we did a video on that.
Walmart,
Whole Foods, Walmart, Crocker Park where we live, one of the malls. There's free charging. So we try to use those when we go out and run around and do errands, and then we don't even have to charge it at home, which is very inexpensive anyway, but it was kind of nice. So in learning how to utilize some of these charging stations more, we were able to only have to have 3 fill-ups now, about one every 3 months. We did the initial one it came with, we did 1 in 3 months, 1 in 6 months, and then we took a trip. Miranda and I had a wedding to go to, and we took a long trip, and we did a video on that. And that was the last video we did about 2.5 to 3 months ago. Now, since then, I just want to show you real quick, we have only, we have not had to fill it up at all, and we still have 137 miles left. Now, the weather's been more mild. So we really haven't needed to use heat, which takes a lot of energy up, and we haven't had to use really the air yet. So we're just kind of going around with the windows down and the fan on, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, that 137 miles will probably last us another month or 2 before we tap into that, because we're getting more electric than we would initially. We're having a higher amount, so we're getting 60 to 70 miles a charge instead of like 40 to 50 because we're not using the heat. So, really awesome. So that'll probably last us through another month or 2, maybe even all the way till September. And then we'll end up doing what? 4 fill-ups in the whole entire year at 7 gallons each? That's nothing. So, but everybody is really bugging us about the speed and the power and the energy. Is it fast and all that?
Oh, it's fast.
Right. So there is a sport mode and there's a regular mode. And so we're going to kind of show people just how fast this goes. We found a nice little patch in an area where there's a straightaway here, and we're going to do a little test, maybe like a 0 to 60 test. We're going to do it in normal mode, and we're going to do it in sport mode, and we're going to see what happens. So, stay tuned. Okay, so we got a little timer set up here, and we're over here by the airport. Really deserted area. There's some bicyclists, but there's nobody around here, so we're just going to kind of wait, and we're going to give a little idea here. You can see our mileage and everything there. You can see our stuff. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to try to hold this right on the screen And there is a little button here that I'm going to hit, and it has a timer, so you can see the timer and the acceleration at the same time. And we're just going to try this out here, and just going to creep up here. We got a pretty good straightaway here, as you can see. Nobody's around, and we're in normal mode, as you can see. And then we're going to try one in sport mode. So I'm going to hit the timer, hit the accelerator. I'm going to turn the air conditioning off just to make sure. We've got the windows closed. Turn the air off just to make sure we're not using any energy there. And let's see what this baby can do.
So that we use all the energy for how fast.
Right. So, 1, 2. Whoa. So wow, about 8 or 9 seconds, this tire spun a little bit there. I'm kind of decelerating now. About 8 or 9 seconds it took. And I'm going to turn around and we're going to try it again. Okay, so that was a pretty good dry run there. We're going to try one more time. I'm trying to time this all correctly. And I'm trying to not spin the tires too much. A lot of people don't realize these electric cars really have a lot of power and spins the tires. So we're going to try one more time. I'm going to try to hit the accelerator right at the same time I hit the timer. And hold the camera straight and everything here. And we'll see how this goes. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, we hit 60 probably in about less than 8 seconds that time. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad at all. I think it's kind of the funniest part about it is that a lot of people don't realize is there's no noise at all. So that was like 2 trials we did in normal mode, and about 8 seconds or so. It's kind of hard to exactly hit the timer exactly the same amount of speed, but same amount of time. But just to give you an idea, so about 8 seconds we can go 0 to 60 in the Volt, in the the electric mode before the hybrid takes over. Although I think we would see about the same in the hold mode.
Really.
But I'm going to try it in the hold mode now, which means it's going to be in the hybrid mode. And it's not going to be just battery. It's going to be over to the hybrid mode because I want to see if there's a difference. Now, you will notice there'll be a little bit more noise because the engine is going to be running, as opposed to when the engine's not running and you're on battery power, there's no noise at all. So you're accelerating and you feel the speed, but there's no noise, right? It's kind of weird. So we're going to try it in the hybrid mode now. We're going to see if there's a difference in the speed. And, of course, I was trying to ease into it because the tires will spin if you slam it down.
You don't want to do that too many times.
Right. And I'm trying to hit the timer right about the same time. So this is just a rough, dry run idea. So we're going to try hybrid mode now. Hybrid mode. So you just put it down to hold, and you'll notice that the green side turns off. So you're not using battery power anymore, you're using engine. Okay? So we're going to try this, same thing, and I turn the air off, and let's see what happens now. I'm going to reset this, and 1, 2, 3. Really doesn't seem like there's too much of a difference. Takes about exactly the same amount of time, same amount of power. Pretty cool. Wow. And really no difference. It's just the noise. You hear a little bit more of the noise, right? Because basically the way this works is the engine fuels the battery, so you're still really kind of using electric power. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to reset it. We're still in hold mode, so it's the engine, not the battery. But it really is, so we're going to try it again. 1, 2, 3. You just hear the noise there from the engine. And this may be, yep, there we go. About the same thing. About 8 or 9 seconds. We're doing 0 to 60. A little more noise. That I did notice that it doesn't quite have the acceleration speed right off the bat. So the tires don't, no matter how fast I hit the gas or the accelerator, the tires don't really spin like they do when it's completely in electric mode. So that's kind of interesting. Did you notice that, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna do sport mode.
And you could hear the engine too.
Yeah, you can hear the engine on those.
Like,
Okay, so I'm gonna reset the timer. This timer thing's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna put it, in case you never saw this, so this down here on the dash is how it works. You just hold this mode button down. So I'm gonna push it, I'll show you on the screen. You hold the mode button down, and it comes up, and we're gonna put it in sport mode. When you hold it down, it'll kind of change what mode it's in. So we're putting in sport mode, and you can see down here it says it's in sport mode. So we did it in the normal mode first, which was electric, because your electric runs before your engine turns over. Then we did engine, and there really wasn't much of a difference. We didn't have as much power initially coming right off the bat. Tires didn't spin, but accelerated pretty much almost exactly the same speed. Took about 8 to 9 seconds to hit 0 to 60. Definitely more noise, right, because the engine's running. I would say maybe a little bit faster in electric by half a second or a second, nothing major. So we're going to try sport mode now. We're going to make sure nobody's around here. We have it in sport mode. We're going to make sure the air conditioning is off. We're going to pull out here, and we're going to see, and there definitely is a difference in sport mode. I'm going to try to not spin the tires too much. I'm going to try to hit the timer at exactly the same time like I did in the last 2 trials. And let's see what we do in sport mode here, buddy. Ready? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. And about the same, 8 to 9 seconds, but a lot more power right off the bat. I did spin the tires pretty heavy that time, and I'm going to reset this timer. I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to try to ease into it a little more this time to see if I'm going to try to ease into it to see if I can get a little bit better grip off the bat and not spin the tires and waste time with that. So we're going to try one more time in sport mode, and we're going to see if we can, make a little change there. Okay, so here we are. We're going to do our 6th trial. We did 2 in normal mode, 2 in hybrid mode or hold mode, and then we're going to do one more in sport. The first time I did the sport one, I'm going to just put the hazards on and let this car go ahead of me here. We really spun the tires bad. So I'm going to try to ease into it a little easier this time. Again, I'm not a professional driver, and this is not really a professional test. I mean, if you went to a raceway or a drag strip, and I've seen things like that where people have done, but I do like the sport mode. It does give you a lot of power if you're trying to pass and things like that. But, yeah, so we're just going to go up here and sit here for another second, and we're going to wait, let these guys pass, and then try one more test in sport mode here. I think this is security here. Oh, he's going the other way. Yep, we're good. This is a security guy from the airport. All right, he's good. He went the other way. All right, here we go, guys. This is going to be our last test. We're going to try 0 to 60 in sport mode. I'm going to try to ease into it a little bit more and see if we can't see a difference here. 1, 2, 3. And here we go. And I think this one's going to be about the same. About 8 seconds. So there you have it, guys. I mean, the Volt's been doing awesome for us. We've only had to fill it up about every 2 to 3 months at the most, depending on really the weather. It's been a long, cold winter, so we did have to fill it up a little bit more and for the trip. But honestly, putting 7 gallons of gas in every 2 to 3 months is nothing. And we'll kind of see how things go. I'm guessing what's left in here is probably going to take us to the end of this year, which means it came with a fill-up, and we did 3 fill-ups the entire year we had it.
Yeah, and if you plug it in every night, then you're not gonna need gas a lot.
Right, you just keep it plugged in, just like a cell phone or anything else. We did a little speed test here. Honestly, we're not professionals by any means. We didn't professionally time it. I really just used the timer on the display here. Again, I was like hitting this button as I tried to hit the accelerator with my foot, and just kind of did it on the screen. But I think you can kind of tell that, from what we showed you, these are pretty awesome cars. I'm sure there are cars that have better tires and better drivers and better tests.
We're just normal people.
But I think if you're hitting a quarter mile in 7 to 8 seconds, which you got to calculate for air and all that kind of stuff, pretty cool. It was interesting to see that no matter what mode it is in, it didn't really seem to make much of a difference. Maybe a half a second, maybe a second. Wasn't a drastic difference. The energy is faster though. The tires spin a lot, which basically means it gives you more. And I've noticed in driving, if we're on the highway and I want to pass somebody or something, or if I'm in sport mode, I can kind of zigzag and a lot faster and pass people faster. But of course it uses more energy and uses your battery up more. So this is Jack and Dan's take on the Volt. We love it so far.
And the wheels squealing is just because it goes so fast.
Yeah.
That it has to start up.
I don't really see the need to go faster than this. This car does everything we could possibly want.
I don't know why you want to go
fast.
I
mean, if you wanted to spend 3 or 4 times this on a big fancy electric car, you could, and go a little bit faster. I'm pretty impressed with this. I don't really have the need. I know that if I go on the highway and if I'm on an on-ramp, within a matter of seconds, I can accelerate very quickly. We love it. We think it's great. We just want to do this because a lot of people have questions about this. You could try to test this on your own. If you have any comments or if you've done tests like this, let us know. Put them down in the comments. And in another few months, we're going to be doing a year update on this bad boy. We're going to kind of see where we're at with things. We're going to see, it's early. Jack's over here yawning. It's early on a Sunday morning. We're going to see just exactly how much, we've been able to reach. And honestly, I think 3 to 4 Phillips a year is pretty amazing with a 7-gallon tank. That's about $15 in gas that we've spent about every 3 months. That's like $60 a year, dude. Mm-hmm. I used to spend that easily.
Better than the average gas car.
Easily, I used to spend that in a month before buying this car, so it's pretty awesome. Check out some of our other videos. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got all kind of things about conservation, health, and wellness and our hobbies. And let us know if you like this video. And make sure that you what?
Hit the bell for notifications.
Hit the bell for notifications so you know when we got new videos. We'll see you next time, guys.